Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew, a Thursday edition here on Brew Sports. We hope you enjoyed your Wednesday, digesting all the great content that we had for you here on Brew Sports. We welcome you inside our studios now. I am Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Jaymee Evers.
Good morning, Jamie. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. A little mad that it's snowing outside. It was 60-some degrees a couple days ago.
It was.
Now the winter gloves, the hats, the parkas, they're all back.
Yeah, I'm a fan of winter.
Are
a fan
you?
of snow. I am. I like snowmobiling.
I like winter when it's
isn't enough
convenient. I don't like winter when it's like...
After we got a little taste of spring.
It's like, hey, it's 60 degrees. I put shorts on. I didn't put shorts on, but I put a T-shirt on, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then it was just not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is February and, March. And
Say
is
it's March
Wisconsin.
now, March 2nd officially. So
Yeah.
I guess, in that sense, you got to be happy about that. You're no longer in February. You can look forward to the spring right around the corner.
Unless winter's here now.
I hope not. That's what some people were saying, too, because we had such a mild start to winter. They're like, wait for it. It's going to be snowing in January. Or it's going to be snowing in June, basically.
No, it's supposed to be 60 on, Monday. So we're probably okay.
I hope so. Lent officially started as well, too. Ash Wednesday was last night. Are you giving anything up for Lent? I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. I'm not making fun of you if you don't. I'm curious if you are or not. No? No, fair enough.
I like everything I do. Everything. Why would I give it up? Just kidding.
No, that makes total sense. My wife and I decided to give up extras. So, outside of paying bills and the necessities like gas and groceries and all that fun stuff, we're not going to go out to eat. We're not going to go buy, 20 cups of coffee during the week like we normally do from big name distributors that will be left unnamed because I like my job. Just other places, that we're just trying to hone in. And some people have been like, well, it just sounds like you're just trying to save money. I'm like, partially, but I'm like, because we also did all that stuff on such a consistent basis while we had the money and we're fine, this is just giving us an opportunity to just kind of cut it all off. So we'll see.
And it'll show you, too, that you don't need big coffee
you always need
distributors.
Coffee. You always need coffee. Some people might say you don't need big coffee distributors, but I would go to battle for that. But that's irrelevant, basically. But let us know what you're giving up for Lent. You can comment with us live here on Facebook, of course, as we are going throughout the day. Some people, I know, I've heard mixed reviews. Some people are like, yeah, I don't give anything up for Lent. Some people are like, yeah, I do. And it's totally different. Sometimes people are like, I only do it if I'm Catholic. Other people do it because, my parents did it for years, so I have to do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it because you have to. Do it because you want to.
I think my favorite thing about Lent and Ash Wednesday is the naiveness of people. So my own personal experience when I interned with the Milwaukee Admirals, we went to Children's Hospital on Ash Wednesday, and Austin Watson came in with ash on his forehead, and I was like, is anybody going to tell him that he's got stuff on his forehead? Yeah, and everyone's like, Jaymee. Oops. So now I realize that when people have ashes on their forehead and it's Wednesday, you just keep your comments to yourself. But I saw people on Twitter and stuff too, today I saw...
Some people are big about it too, and people will post about it and be like the selfie of the Ash Wednesday selfie, basically.
And there I would be like, hey man, you got something on your
something
forehead.
that you guys know, put a filter on or something, man. Come on, get it together.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, either way, Lent is a good time. Easter, people love Easter baskets. Did you ever get any memorable Easter baskets at all, Jaymee?
I don't think memorable. My parents were, sorry, Dad, just good on candy.
Just good,
and
lots of candy.
Probably socks.
Some people think that Easter is almost more important than Christmas with the presents that I've seen some of my friends get over the years. Their Easter baskets, kids are getting watches and iPads and all this fun stuff. I'm like,
stop it.
It's true. People get kind of crazy stuff like that. I don't know. Everybody's different. I got mostly candy. I got a basketball. I'll get the Walmart, basically get, Easter basket, which is totally fine. I loved it. I embraced it. I got a scooter one year for Easter. I was super psyched.
A Razor scooter?
I did.
Name brand.
It was.
Hot dog.
I know. I was like, I'm the cool kid on my block. Everybody move over, basically. I was very excited about that. All right, well, some of the other things that we want to talk about today in our first segment, which is called What's Brewing, talking about some of the interesting or funny things going on in the sports world. Jaymee, do you like tacos?
I had tacos for lunch and dinner yesterday.
So you like tacos then, is what you're saying. Did you hear about the Sacramento Kings player that had tacos?
I did. He did not have my tacos.
He must not have.
I'm not sick.
Apparently not. So if you haven't heard, Sacramento Kings player Ty Lawson got sick a day after asking locals for a bomb taco spot in Sacramento. Sacramento's kind of a scary city from what I've heard. I've never really heard too many people being like, yo, love Sacramento.
Right. You should go there. Great tourist.
No. So if you haven't heard, he Snapchatted or posted somewhere basically saying, where's a bomb taco spot in Sacramento. The very next day, the Sacramento Kings released that Ty Lawson was it was questionable for the game with, I don't even know how to pronounce the official diagnosis. gastroenteritis. Basically, he had upset stomach and was just, I mean, the pictures that he posted, he said that they looked very good, but they were also in a really awkward light, so I can't officially tell if they were very yummy or not. Either way, I mean, people love tacos. People love food. I thoroughly enjoy it. But it's kind of funny, though, how you see somebody reach out and say, you should go check out this place, you go check out that place, and then he ends up missing a game.
It didn't look like a sketchy, like it wasn't like a taco truck. It wasn't out of someone's back door. Like it was a restaurant that had, so at least it looked like to me, nice tacos. And then I Googled this big word, gaso whatever, and it just came up as the stomach flu. I was like, that was the story? Like, that's all you gave me? Like, you're just crapping your brains out?
Sometimes, man, food works in different ways in different people, apparently. But yes, so tacos. Have you ever gotten food poisoning?
I have not. I've used it as an excuse to get out of work before. Not my current job.
Oh, no. Okay.
And never here.
Obviously. You've only been here for a couple of days. So.
Too. But I've said I've had it, and I haven't.
Interesting. Oops. I don't think I've purposely ever had food poisoning. Not like you. Like I've never called in. I don't think they'll being like, I got food poisoning. I've felt kind of iffy, but as most people say, you just spend enough time in the bathroom or drink enough water, or whatever. It's gone. You're like, okay, no big deal. You carry on with your day, basically.
Well, and I feel like when people have food poisoning, they act like the world is ending. So did you? Beginning of the season, there was like 9 guys on the Nashville Predators who got food poisoning from eating in the media room or wherever from the Detroit Red Wings. So we had a call. They called up 10 guys from Milwaukee.
Hey.
Played a couple of them.
Hey, whatever it takes to get those players promoted, basically.
Food poisoning.
Little did we know. Maybe those were your tacos. No, you said you make good tacos.
I do make good tacos.
I need to clarify this. I need to see how good these tacos actually are. I feel like this might be a little early in the day for tacos, but is there a breakfast taco? Do people make breakfast tacos?
Yeah. I had a breakfast burrito last week.
Well, burritos are different. Tacos
it's the same thing. It's just rolled up.
But is a hot dog a sandwich or not?
A hot dog is neither.
Oh, wow.
It's a hot dog.
But people call it
a
sandwich.
sub is a sandwich, right?
But I don't know. Another debate. We're already throwing out debate topics here this morning, basically. But
our tacos rolled up burritos. No, our burritos rolled up tacos.
I don't know.
Yes.
Are they?
Someone clarify.
Somebody
please.
Clarify. Because then you get the hard shot. Yeah, we need Liz to jump in and give us the hot takes here because she always does the best with that. So Portai lost, and he's back in the rotation as well too. They were playing Brooklyn, so it's not like they were playing anybody important, or not like the Kings season's been anything important either. So who cares about that? Moving from tacos to Asia for a brief moment. Have you heard about this new sport that Asia has just been freaking out about? I mean, Asia freaks out about a lot of things just because that's what anime is. And wow, like that's what they do. They freak out about the littlest things. I mean, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, it'll never catch on. People just I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's huge. People love it.
It's massive. There was just an anime convention here last weekend. Yeah. Craziest thing there's
some weird-looking people.
Yeah.
Like, people think, like, Mardi Gras is, like, weird, but, like, no, you look at an anime convention, and you're like, is that Superman? Is that Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I dated a guy that wanted me to go to Comic-Con, which is a little different.
Comic-Con I would go to.
But still, like,
but, like, was he, like, weird. Do you want to go, like, as normal people, or were you like, let's go as Superman and Wonder Woman?
Well, I would never go. So, like, it was the end of the debate. I don't watch Star Wars. Like, I'm not into, like...
You wouldn't go for the spectacle? You're not are you a people watcher?
Yeah, but, like, then I would be the normie. Watching all these people in costume.
And then they'd be watching you, be like, look at the girl who didn't want to dress up. Her boyfriend totally dragged her here.
Probably breaking up after this.
I'm assuming that relationship didn't last very long.
No.
That's another topic. Jamie is, never mind. We're not going to go there. Anyway, so Asia's got this huge thing sweeping. It's this soccer-volleyball mashup known as Sepika Takraw, something like that, basically. But it's 3-on-3. It's a small court. It almost looks like a smaller version even of a tennis court. It's not very big, but these guys are kicking a ball, if you're watching, not very big, basically. Maybe, what would you even say the size of the ball is? About the half size of a volleyball, maybe?
Yeah, like a miniature dodgeball?
Yeah, something like that. It must be weighted or something because the way these guys are, they're not just like kicking it over like like when you receive a soccer ball, you can kick it up. And then like, oh, there you go, kick it over. They're like doing like half volley, like half bicycle,
karate,
like crazy things. Yeah. And these guys are returning the serve in the equal manner. It's a lower net, so it's not like you're playing on a 5 volleyball net. It's more like a badminton net height maybe, or a little bit lower.
Do you think it's because they're playing this because they find soccer so boring?
Maybe. Just kidding. Maybe. You're not wrong. I appreciate that subtle just little right there in the morning already. But maybe if their national teams were actually good, they would have, can move on to other things. Maybe they're finding a sport so that way they can make fun of Americans being like, ha ha ha, we invented a sport. You guys as Americans are terrible at this, because honestly, the Asian countries are awful at soccer.
They are awful?
They're awful. You'd think China, Japan's not bad, but Thailand, there's millions and billions of people there.
Right.
How are they not
good?
good ones. Yeah, how are they not good? Anyway, that's a whole nother soccer and for a whole nother time. But just a little side caveat, basically. All right, other stuff as well, too. Did you see that the St. Louis Rams decided to void their old colors?
I did.
They're not even saying, obviously they're the LA Rams now, but they're throwing it back to this kind of a sharp-looking blue and white-looking helmet.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I think it looks nice. It looks clean.
It does.
It's very clean.
It does.
I think it's probably good for the change, too, right? Change venues.
I think so,
cities.
yeah. I mean, really, when you look at the helmet, I mean, it's similar design to what it used to be, of course, with the blue and the gold. It kind of almost looks like they took their current helmet and just threw an Instagram filter on it. Being like, oh, we just changed the color. It's the same thing. I mean, it is. It's the same general concept. I mean, if the Packers or the Bears or whatever changed their colors but still kept the exact same logo, obviously it'd be virtually the same thing.
Right.
But this is what the Rams have been identified as for so many years. Why would you completely just throw it out the window, basically, at this point? So.
Right. Yeah, and then you still know that it's the Rams. They're not changing their logo. They're not throwing in something crazy. Mm-hmm. But hey, we move. We're trying new things.
Yeah, it makes sense. They're in the process of also trying to decide whether or not they should have blue face masks or white face masks. I think the white maybe would work a little bit better. The blue kind of just gets sucked into the blue that's already there in the helmet, so I think the white is a little bit more distinct. And most face masks usually are a different color than most of the helmet anyway.
But white's so bright. Maybe that's the issue.
Maybe blue just blends and makes you if you wear the helmet and then you've got the black visor.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more intimidating.
It'd be scary.
I don't understand how people can play with black visors.
Me either.
I've put them up just to my face and I'm I can't see.
Right. Good thing a football. And you're tackling people.
But I'm even if you're a running back or something and you get handed the ball, you're where's the ball? I'm oh, I got it. And then by the time exactly, maybe that's why Eddie Lacy's not a good running back, because he sometimes wears visors.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's so many different excuses that I'm sure people can be oh, I got something in my visor. I never understood the people that wear the black visors at night. What are you trying to...
Right.
It's it's not sunny out.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to drive a motorcycle at nighttime with shades on, tinted shades.
Should be the same thing.
Yeah, why are you playing football?
People's safety. Mm-hmm. We're just looking out for people, Jamie. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We care about people.
We do.
I love it. All right, fun facts today, this day in history, Throwback Thursday, Jamie. Some people like to do this on Instagram, be look how cute I was in 4th grade when I hadn't hit puberty yet and my body was my own.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. But you came up with some fun stuff for Throwback Thursday, so what do you got for us?
I did. In 1874, the batter box in baseball was adopted, so they chalked out a box. That's where you have to hit from if you don't watch baseball.
There it is, guys.
Yep.
Stand there kind of thing.
In 1929, the Blackhawks shut out for the NHL record for their 8th straight game, and I tried to see if
they got shut out or they shut out somebody?
Out.
Oh, they shut somebody out 8 games in a row.
Yep.
Ooh.
So I was let me try to find if that's updated.
Snap, okay.
And I couldn't, but I did find some crazy stats, which have nothing to do with throwbacks, but I think they're crazy. The most penalty minutes in a season was 2,700, which was from 1991 to 92 Buffalo, which averaged 31 minutes a game, which doesn't seem like a crazy amount, even though hockey's only played for 60 minutes, so half of the game, someone was always in the penalty box.
Jeez.
Nowadays, the average is anywhere from 6 to 11 minutes. So 31 is a ridiculous amount of time.
That's a bit crazy, honestly. Yeah. Today is also the 55th anniversary of Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. That's kind of crazy. I mean, you've heard other players like Kobe and Steph Curry and LeBron doing, incredible things, scoring, upwards of 60-plus points. I think Kobe had a 90-some point game at a couple of, a decade or so ago, when he was actually still really good. Obviously, when he was still playing, of course, too. But it's so interesting when you think about sports feats and you hear about how things have transitioned over time. It was 55 years ago. There was only 4,000 people in the building. There's hardly any video footage of it as well, too. If somebody scored 100 points now, people I feel like would be freaking out, being like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, though, I feel like society's changed in such a weird way, though, too, because there was a high school kid that recently scored 90-some points in a basketball game, and people lost.
Did you watch the video?
I saw a little bit of it.
He stayed back at half court, and they just hucked him the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. And we don't have video evidence of Wilt Chamberlain. Maybe Wilt cherry-picked the whole night as well, too, and it's like, oh, thanks. Whoop,
yeah, maybe this high school kid, I forgot what his name was, but I'm like, maybe he has the only document. He was like, I'm going to do that.
Maybe.
That's how I'm going to score these points.
That's how I'm going to score these
That's
points.
how I'm going to trend on Twitter. Hashtag yes drama.
Hashtag yes drama. Our very first hashtag yes drama of the day. I love it. Yes, if you haven't caught on, Jamie and I love the whole hashtag yes drama thing. We need T-shirts with hashtag yes drama on it. I think Jamie's going to try to, at the end of every show, we're going to come up with at least our hashtag yes drama moments of the show. Yeah. I feel like will be the best thing. You realized also, Jamie, we've made it 20 minutes, and you have not mentioned Jordy Nelson yet.
Oh, I know. But I did give my dad a shout-out. I did that yesterday,
There you go. So if it's not your dad, it's Jordy Nelson, basically. Is Jordy Nelson your father?
I hope not.
Oh.
I mean,
No? You don't want Jordy Nelson to be your father?
No, because I love him in a different way than I love my dad.
Gotcha. I guess, that makes sense. And I guess we don't want to make it even weirder than we have to be already, basically. But either way, though, so some very interesting on this day in sports history. I was trying to also find, there was something else interesting that took place today.
The first NBA All-Star game.
Really?
1951. East beat West, 111-94.
Probably the last time the East actually did anything relevant. The West always wins, I feel like.
Yeah.
I was talking with Tanner yesterday on our halftime show, and I was making the argument that I'm pretty sure the Western Conference in almost every sport is just always better for some reason. You look at it in hockey, you look at it in football, the AFC. I know NFL is weird because it doesn't actually split the country,
right?
Which is a whole other stupid debate that I could go off on for a long time. But you see almost every other sport splits the country basically in half and is like the West, the East. And the West Coast is almost always better.
Probably why the East Coast doesn't have a crazy amount. I mean, they have a fair amount, but a lot of them have moved.
True.
I mean, you see it in hockey. You're seeing it in the NFL. Like, they're all moving to good old California area.
Or Vegas, baby.
Or Vegas. Ooh, that could be a tangent. Dumb.
Do you not like the whole Vegas thing?
I think it's stupid.
Why? Why do you think it's stupid?
I think putting a professional sports team in the party city of the world is dumb. I think their logo's dumb. I think that they could have been more creative. I think it's dumb. I don't agree with it.
Interesting.
Why not Seattle?
It's true. Seattle's got a great market for a lot of things. They had the Supersonics, obviously now the Milwaukee Bucks back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, but why? I mean, the Seattle Mariners, I think, draw fairly well. But the Seahawks, the Seattle Sounders, even the Seattle Reign, their women's soccer team, all draw exceptional crowds.
And there's enough people that live in Seattle and the area, and they have to have enough money to buy tickets to games because it is expensive to live in Seattle.
It is, exactly, with all that big corporation coffee that exists in Washington, in Seattle.
Who could that be?
I don't know. Probably anyway. I can't wait for Lent to be over so I can already talk about it. No, I'm not. I do enjoy Lent. I don't want people to think I don't enjoy Lent, of course. But people are commenting on Facebook as well, too, saying, Liz says, Jamie, tell us how you really feel. Aaron says hashtag Vegas. And a lot of people are already saying hashtag yes drama as well, too. So you can make sure you comment on Facebook about anything we're talking about today. Any other fun things on this day in history as a whole, basically?
That's all I got.
Did you know that today's the assassination of Charles the Good, the Count of Flanders, back in 1127?
I missed that guy.
Might name my next son Flanders. No, I wouldn't do that. But fun facts. The more you know, Jamie.
The more you know.
That's like, I feel like that's almost my catchphrase at some days. It's the more you know. Because it is. The more you know, I feel like the more marketable, the more relatable you can be as a person.
I agree.
Yeah.
You can BS your way through a lot more stuff. Pretend like you know more.
It's true. Mm-hmm. That's how I got a job in sports, is because I BS my way through most of it. Being
like,
I know what's going on. If you speak confidently about anything, like water polo, it's an amazing... I really don't know what's going on about water polo, but like if you speak like you know what's going on, you get so excited about it. It's like, wow, he knows what he's talking about.
That's true.
Emotion sometimes can overshadow the limited knowledge you might actually have.
People are just like, oh my gosh, he loves it so much.
I do.
And then you seem so passionate that no one wants to correct you.
Exactly. That's why I use the fact that I pretended that I always used to underwater basket weave as like a fallback. And some people are like,
that.
Did you really?
No.
Some people that know me are like, shut up. And other people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's an actual thing. It's hard to weave a basket underneath water.
You've tried?
I have not.
Okay,
but I'm
see?
saying, but because I say it like I think I did, people believe you. I'm just saying. I would try it. I would do it just for the fact that I've talked about it for the last 25 years of my life, like basically saying like, oh, underwater basket weaving. It was a joke that my mom would always use, basically like, oh, what were you doing underwater basket weaving? Like, yeah, Mom. But like actually like using it now as my own joke, I'm like, maybe I should try it just for fun.
She would be so proud.
She would.
She'd keep that basket.
The first basket would have to go to my mom, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? It makes sense. I totally agree with you
To
on that
Mom. Love Baxter.
one. #yes baskets. I don't know. You can't. That doesn't make any sense. All right, Jamie. Somebody that loves some #yes drama is Colin Kaepernick.
Yes.
As you know, and you were letting me have it a little bit off the air when we started briefly talking about it. But what is Colin Kaepernick doing now, basically? Because everybody's all fired up about him again.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even keep his name in the media. That's for sure. Opt
Kind of
out
like
of his
Tebow.
contract. Yeah. Opt out of his contract, which I didn't even know was a thing. To be quite honest, I didn't know that you could just be like, it's not going to work for me this year.
Yeah.
Take 14 mil, give me 2.5, we'll call it even.
How does that make sense, though?
It doesn't.
He's out $11.5 million.
But I think that he can dabble, right? And then if he doesn't like anybody,
Not that, no.
not dab.
Ah,
Dabble.
Dabble.
Yeah.
How do you dabble? Is that like the news that the kids are doing nowadays?
You can dabble.
Dabble. Do a little dabble. Something like that, basically. Makes sense. I respect a good dabble.
And then if he doesn't like what other teams have to offer, he can come back.
Why?
They can.
Why would you come back? Why would you throw $14 million out the window and be like, nah, I'm going to go somewhere else?
Sorry.
Does he think he's going to get more?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a terrible quarterback. Let's be honest. The only reason Colin Kaepernick is relevant is because he torched the Packers in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Only reason.
true.
Like, if you look at his stats from 2016, he threw for 2,200 yards, he threw 16 touchdowns, and a QB rating of 90. That's okay. It's not terrible.
Not terrible.
But San Francisco is a shell of the team that it used to be. Did you know that he's from Milwaukee?
I don't know if I knew that he was from Milwaukee, but I knew that he was involved with all of his now charity stuff. He donated a couple thousands of dollars to various organizations, which is great for the community. Great for Milwaukee.
Yes.
Great for Colin Kaepernick for keeping his word. But again, I think it's just he's just trying to stay relevant.
He is, and that's the thing, unfortunately. It bothers me. And I find it funny, too, and this is just me being me and my weirdness, that there's so many, like, different ways that people break down stats nowadays. Like, did you know, Jamie, that when Colin Kaepernick played 2 games on turf last year, he went 33 for 62 and threw 3 touchdowns?
I did.
Obviously.
Duh.
He only fumbled 1 time.
The turf toe monster did not get him.
Exactly. Just like there's the most ridiculous things like, oh, Colin Kaepernick when he plays in games between 21 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit, this is what he does. Or when
Who
he plays
has time to find this
Yahoo
out?
Sports, apparently. Somebody
Get a different
is
job.
being paid to figure this out. Or did you
Or maybe
know
I
that
need their job.
in the month of November, Colin Kaepernick threw for 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns? Like, what? Why do we care?
We don't.
Some people do. Some people like, or when there were games that they were considered not close. He threw for 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Ooh.
Or when he was in a late and close game, he didn't do anything. It's like the secret stat guru of me is like, oh, cool, like that's kind of cool. But like at the same time, I'm just like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who
Someone
spends
has a Colin Kaepernick shrine with all of his stats like this.
Yes.
At
Well, I
his
mean, I think
house.
this breaks down for every single player. But really, though, when you look at it, when you look at Colin Kaepernick, does he deserve to have another job in the NFL? Somebody's going to sign him, of course, because
Right.
it's a quarterback-driven league. It's a passing league, as people like to say, of course. But who really wants to sign a guy like this?
Right. One, probably a team that wants some media time. 2,
To sign Tim Tebow, if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, true. Well, he doesn't want to play football.
He should. I always liked Tim Tebow. Fun fact.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. I don't think he should play baseball, but then maybe he should sign with someone. But do you think that Kaepernick's going to be okay? I mean, if he's a second string, like he doesn't want to be.
I don't think he
QB2?
wants to be a second-string
Right.
quarterback. That's the thing. I mean, I feel like no matter what team he wants to go to, I feel like he was almost going to undervalue himself by going to a team like Cleveland, like a Buffalo, like a team that is desperate. I mean, Chicago, for God's sakes, he could end up at the Bears if they get rid of Jay Cutler. I mean, he could go virtually anywhere that is not a good team
Right.
and potentially be a starter.
Just to start, I guess. And then
You
he'll
know?
probably make that 14-5 back.
Probably over a year or two. So I don't know. He's still young. He still has a lot to offer. I mean, for goodness sakes, he's only been playing for 5 years, 5 or 6 years basically. But he's only 29 years old. So in quarterback years, if you're gauging off of Tom Brady, he still has at least 11 years to play. But I have a hard time really believing that he's actually as good as people think he was, because he wasn't really good before he got the start when Alex Smith was the quarterback in San Francisco. Then he got that little pocket of time, led the 49ers to the Super Bowl. People were like, he's the greatest quarterback since Michael Vick. Whoa, like he's great. And then basically he just kind of fell off the earth from there. And I know San Francisco had some really crazy offseason moves where people retired and they lost some of their big free agents. And you think that you would still be able to do something with that, though. We've seen guys like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning do a lot with a little at times and still be successful. So why, that kind of proves that he's not as good as a quarterback as people thought he was.
Right, that he needs a team behind him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aside from that, though, NFL free agency, of course, is still continuing to move along. Alshon Jeffrey will not return to the Chicago Bears, among others. Adrian Peterson also is not going to be returning. A local Milwaukee native, Kevin Zeitler, former University of Wisconsin Badger, played for the Cincinnati Bengals. He is a free agent as well, considered the 7th best free agent. So a little Milwaukee local pride there, kind of a cool thing. But there's some big players out there that are still available. I know that we talked about this yesterday with Adrian Peterson a little bit, I believe, but have you thought any more about what you think he should potentially do with himself? Should Green Bay sign him? Is it a waste of money for anybody to try to throw any valuable contract at him?
No, I think he'll be good for whoever picks him up. Do I think it's the Packers? Like I said yesterday, the money's not coming out of my pocket. So
well, are you a team owner? So no, I don't think you are.
Right. So if it's
that.
like I said yesterday, if it's good for the team, sign him.
Sure.
I don't think we need him. I think that we could put our money elsewhere.
Yeah. Like the defense, probably.
Right. Maybe that would be good.
True.
So do I think that that's where we should put all of our money? No. Do I care where else he goes?
No, not really. Not really. It's just one of those players you're just like, yeah, whatever. He went there,
Yeah.
basically. A couple of people were commenting saying that Kevin Zeitler's a really good guy. People should grab him. He will do big things. Aaron also made the mention that Colin Kaepernick should go to the Vikings. They liked a lot of washed-up quarterbacks on their team. Liz also makes the comment saying that if Kaepernick isn't improving now, he won't improve with age. He's not a fine wine. It's true. It's a very good point, and I love wine. So I would never drink a Kaepernick Sauvignon.
No.
I don't think
What
so.
about a Kaepernick Merlot?
I'm not a Merlot person. It's too I don't know what the right word is. It's too dry. I think that's the word. I like the sweet reds. I like the Moscatos, like the Chardonnays, the Zinfandels.
Real masculine man you got here, Liz.
And that's how I'm
But
too.
I
Like,
love
like
IPAs.
even from like a beer thing. Like I'm not a Guinness. I'm not like a dark beer sort of
Yeah.
fan. I don't want a beer that I can chew. That's awkward. Like some people are like, I love a beer that I get a meal and a drink out of it. Be like, no, that sounds terrible. Just get a meal.
Right.
Like I will
I
be
like
that guy
it.
when I get a Bloody Mary. I'll be like, absolutely. Like I can get a little like breakfast snack basically, or a meal if I go to
Pre-brunch.
Lambeau Field because they give you a brat.
Oh, really?
On some of them, yeah, you get like a full brat on a bun with like little other things stuffed into this big glass, basically. And I'm like, wow, I'll pay $25 for that. It's not
Right.
that much, but I'll pay $12 for that because I get a drink, I get a little buzz, it's exciting, and I get at least a little brat. It holds
Yeah.
me over for at least a quarter or two. I think that's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I agree. And only $12 a beer is like $9.
Something like that. I'll have to see what the going rate is. I'm sure inflation, since I used to work at Lambeau Field a couple of years ago, has probably bumped it to like $16.50 or something crazy like that. But either way, though, people love Bloody Marys.
They do.
I love Bloody Marys.
And brats.
And brats.
And football.
Hashtag Wisconsin. All right, as we continue to roll along with the show, we will be back here in just a little while to talk about the college basketball scene, talk about Kevin Durant with Chris Heimall, one of our basketball correspondents. But before we go, have you ever run a 40-yard dash, Jamie?
Maybe in middle school.
And they lined you all up on the goal
Yeah.
line and said, run!
Yep. And I was like, okay.
You're like, okay. I can just see
I love gym class.
Say little Jamie with ponytails, just like,
Yeah. And I was
Jamie,
like
over
this
here.
awkward, skinny, weird kid. Yeah. That was me.
Did you play sports at all in high school? College, anything?
No, I would play basketball in middle school, and then
I wonder why.
Yep. And then I danced for a year. And then I failed sewing class, so...
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know how it happened.
You failed sewing class?
Yeah.
How do you fail sewing class?
I don't know, and they were tie blankets, so I feel like the lady just had it out for me. And I made the blanket, but I failed. But I lied about it. Don't lie, because Kenny will catch you, and you will be grounded for eternity.
Kenny will catch you.
Yeah.
Sounds terrifying.
Because my parents are divorced, so they got 2 report cards. I got one to bring home, and my mom got one sent to her house. And I traced over every single line on my report card to make my F into a B. Well, my parents found out, and my dad made me choose between basketball and dance. So I picked dance, because that's what my group of friends was in. And he made me quit dance and finish basketball. So then I retaliated, and I was a cheerleader after that.
Woo!
So, yeah, I played sports.
Cheerleading's not a sport.
Woo. Rah, rah.
Wow, I feel like your child. I feel like you have a lot of built up anger from your childhood.
No.
Do you need to talk about it?
No, I wish I would have.
This is an open platform. You
Yeah.
have people commenting like Aaron and Liz and others that care about your feelings, Jamie.
I should have stuck with basketball.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I enjoy your nickname,
Which one?
Shaq.
Oh, God. I know.
I think that's a little funny.
It is.
but-
I mean, I'm tall. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
I'm not 7 foot tall.
no.
But-
you're a respectable height for a female.
Yeah.
You know?
A little on the...
As soon as you get
Tall?
you're 6 feet tall. As soon as you hit the 6'1", 6, then it's like, whoa, slow down there.
Yeah.
Probably green giant.
People
You're
are
getting
always
a bit much.
Why do you wear heels? And I was like,
Because I look
why
good.
not? Yeah.
Exactly.
have you seen these legs at 6'4"? They're long. Someday.
Someday. I don't know what I was expecting you to be like. Look,
I was
leg on
gonna,
the
but
table. You're
I just got
what?
boots on. Nothing
Ah, well,
exciting.
fair enough. All right. But anyway, the reason I asked before we get to our correspondent here in just a brief moment with Chris Heimall, the Adidas is running a campaign saying that they will buy a private island for any of the NFL Combine draft runners that can run a faster time than Chris Johnson's 4.24 40-yard dash.
I think they should open this to the public, and they should buy me an island.
You can't run that fast,
I
though.
could try.
Could you? We're going to have to go in the hall after this and see. Be like, all right, 40-yard dash time, go.
Yeah.
I was semi-fast in high school and college. I think the fast I ever ran, that was like a 4.8 or a 4.7.
Okay, so you could almost get there. I mean, I could not.
I'm a couple of
Not a quick lady.
milliseconds away from. I mean, you got the long legs though. If you get that stride, be like boom, boom,
Yeah.
you just fly.
But there's a lot of me to lug across, I'm not fast.
Fair enough. So kind of an interesting thing though. I think I agree though. I think it should be open to the public. I think that would make so much more sense. I think more people would be game for that. I mean, if you were guaranteed to get a private island. I mean, it also depends, though. What is this private island? Am I getting, literally, a 12 by 12 sort of island? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, is there stuff on the island? Is there a house included? Because then I'll just run away. But these people they're going to be in the NFL. They don't need you to buy them an island.
No, they don't.
They can buy it themselves
these are
next
kids.
year.
These are college kids. You don't need to skew them already. If you're I'm the first overall draft pick, and I got a private island,
Right.
Wow.
Hashtag yes drama.
You're probably a douche.
Probably.
Come on. Seriously.
Yeah, no 19, 20-year-old
I don't want to
kid.
draft a kid that has a private island. Be like, I'm an NFL head coach that has been doing this for 25 years. I don't even have a dang island.
I'm like, I have an island. I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah. I'd
That's
be
what I
like,
would
well,
think.
get your butt to your island and don't ever come back to my
Right.
team. See ya. Bye, Felicia. All right, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll have our basketball correspondent, Chris Heimall, joining us. And then we'll wrap it up with some hashtag guest drama. It is the Morning Brew with Baxter and Jaymee, back with more on Brew Sports right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Morning Brew here live on Brew Sports. I am Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Jamie Evers.
All right, Jamie Evers. People have been having a lot of fun on Facebook this morning already, talking about who would win in a 40-yard dash race, me or you. Apparently cheerleading is a sport compared to some people. Dawn says she wants an island. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's going on this morning. But I feel like we'll get back to a lot of that stuff and talk about some of the best comments at the end of the show. So make sure you continue to comment along with us as we continue moving on. We do want to move into our basketball segment right now. Of course, March Madness right around the corner. The conference tournament's wrapping up as well, too, here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to bring in Christian Heimall to join us now to talk a little bit about the college basketball world and the other, just basketball world as a whole. Christian, good morning. How are we doing, sir?
Doing great. We are not even 16 hours into March, and already madness has ensued. This is, in my personal opinion, the best time of the year. So I'm excited to be with you guys.
I completely agree with you on that one, Christian. I mean, I'm sure you probably saw the chaos taking place at Northwestern last night. That last second shot hopefully secure the spot for the Wildcats to maybe go to the tournament. I know obviously there's still a lot of stuff that has to go right for them, but what about the drama? Just a incredible moment there. I don't know if you got a chance to see that or not.
Listen, what Chris Collins has done in Northwestern this year is one of the greatest things that I've seen in a while, and maybe even more exciting than watching his team is watching his dad, Doug, in the stands. I feel like he has a heart attack every single time. But that play yesterday to beat Michigan, when you think about all the things that have to go right in that scenario, 2 seconds, full court baseball-style pass to a guy who's on the run, and he's able to catch it over the defender and lay it in without traveling, without losing the basketball, or anything like that. I mean, that game last night was so impressive to watch, and I do think that sealed the deal for Northwestern. I do think they will get in that large bid and finally come in for the first time in the NCAA tournament. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you on that one. I mean, we're based here in the Midwest, obviously, and two of the schools that have been getting a lot of conversation has been Marquette and the Wisconsin Badgers as well, too. Wisconsin was favored at the beginning of the season pardon me, to be this really high-profile team. I mean, Bronson Canning was playing really well, Ethan Happ among others as well too. But Wisconsin's kind of faltered a lot recently after doing so well the last couple of years. But I feel like a lot of that is because there's no Sam Decker, there's no Frank Kaminsky to bail out the Badgers. So I feel like we're finally seeing more about how poor this team actually is. Is this team going to do anything come tournament time, do you think?
It's going to be tough to tell with them. I mean, you're absolutely right. A guy like Frank Kaminsky was so huge to them last year. I mean, the senior class for that team was just so talented, and really they were kind of, I don't want to call them the last chance, but for the next couple of years, it's going to take a while for Wisconsin to get back there. Listen, I love Bronson. I think he's one of the better players in that league, but he doesn't have enough of a supporting cast for them to do anything. When you look at the rest of that conference, whether it be a team like a Northwestern, a team like Purdue, which just the other night beat Indiana to win the regular season, they are a very good team, but I don't think there's enough for Wisconsin to really be able to do much in a postseason atmosphere, whether that's in the conference tournament or should they make the NCAAs in at large.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. When you really break it down, I mean, obviously every season is different, every team is different. This isn't the same team that it was last year. Even the team before that as well too. I mean, Frank Kaminsky, of course, now playing in the NBA. Sam Decker also doing that as well too. You take away two NBA style players and high caliber players, it's a totally different squad, obviously. But kind of transitioning away from Wisconsin as a whole. Are you a big bracket kind of guy when it comes to filling out the brackets? Do you get in multiple pools? Do you do a lot of that fun stuff?
I do the best I can because I have those ones that are true fandoms. I went to a high school outside of Baltimore the year Steve Blake and the Maryland Terrapins went on to win the championship. So I always have one bracket where no matter where they're seated, Maryland wins the title. I'm also a huge huge Louisville fan. I love Coach Pitino and everything that he has done in Louisville. So I have one bracket where no matter where they're seated, they always win. And then as someone who genuinely does not like Duke basketball, I have one bracket where they always get eliminated in the first round. And that might be the same in every year because I'll be 100% honest. I don't think Duke is one of those teams that this year, despite their nice win against Florida State, I don't think they're a team that's going to be advancing into the Sweet 16. Maybe even to the first round this year. Depending on the matchup, Duke's an interesting team this year. So I definitely love the brackets. It's a lot of fun, but I definitely do at least one or two that are more on the personal side of things.
Hey, Christian, who do you think the favorites are going into March Madness?
When you look at the tournament, I think you have to look at the defending champs, Villanova, only because of how strong they've been throughout the year. Jay Wright is a phenomenal coach, and I'm so happy that they won the title last year because it finally proved just how talented he is at that high major level. He was always a strong coach at Hofstra and at St. Joe's, but for him to do it at Villanova, and then they bring back a lot of key players from last year. But then you also look at the perennials. I mean, it's really hard to argue against Kentucky and guys like Malik Monk, who, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch that Kentucky-Vanderbilt game the other night, but what they did coming back from down 19 was really impressive. Kansas is in the mix. Louisville will be there. Florida State will be there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks are going to want to pick Gonzaga just because they were the number one team all the way. I agree with you 100%. A lot of people will want to do it.
True.
Don't do it. Do not pick Gonzaga. I don't see them. Truthfully, I don't even see them as the number one seed anymore. I think that loss to BYU dropped them off of the number one spot. I see them as a 2 seed, and depending on how some of these conference tournaments figure, they could even fall to a 3 seed, depending on what teams like how the ACC tournament goes, how the SEC tournament goes, even how the Pac-12, because you look at what UCLA has. Lonzo Ball is very similar to me, like a Kemba Walker a few years ago with Connecticut. He has the ability to put a team on his back, lead them to a conference championship, lead them into a number 3, potentially a 4 seed, and then take them the length of the tournament. I mean, but if you got to pick 1 or 2 to have there, looking at it as objectively as I possibly can, you got to look at Villanova, Kentucky, and Kansas as your top 3 options to win the national title.
Do you see anybody as coming up as a surprise? Maybe coming, someone that'll take everybody by surprise.
There's a team to watch, and I say this only because I have seen them throughout this season here in the New York area, and that is Monmouth University out of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. They are a very talented team. They are a senior-laden squad. You've got a guy in Jalon Hornbeek who is a transfer from Oklahoma. He played alongside Buddy Hield and is maybe a better shooter than Buddy. Justin Robinson, their point guard, is going to be a 2-time Conference Player of the Year. He's only 5'8", but, I mean, he's very impressive as a point guard, as a shooter, as a defender. And then they have a big man in Chris Brady, who is very talented down low. He's one that could be Monmouth is a team that could surprise some people. Their head coach is King Rice, who was Michael Jordan's roommate at North Carolina. So, he's got a pedigree as a very talented coach.
True.
If they win this conference tournament in the MAC, which starts today, they are the number 1 seed going in. They've won 16 straight. If they win the conference tournament and they go into the NCAA winning 19 in a row, they could be a 13 seed, get a really nice seed, and who knows, they could knock off a 4 and then once you get to the first round, who knows what happens. So as soon as they knock off that first team, they could be anywhere. I mean, obviously you got to look at all the regular Cinderellas and that too. I mean, but I think Monmouth is going to be a team that's a trendy pick this year for a couple of upsets just because they were a team that reached the conference finals a year ago, lost. Everybody thought they were going to get an at-large bid. When you look at their bench mob last year, winning at UCLA, beating USC, and they didn't get the at-large, this is a team that's been playing with a chip on their shoulder all year long, and if they get into the NCAA tournament, if they get that automatic qualifier, they'll have a great seed, and it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Thanks for all that insight on March Madness and the NCAA coming up. Just to change gears a little bit, Baxter and I spent a lot of time yesterday talking about Kevin Durant and his injury.
Hyperextended knee, out for a month for the Warriors.
Yeah, how do you see that affecting them? Do you think they're going to be able to work around it and wait for him to come back to be this great team, or do you think they're going to continue being great? How do you see it working out?
The interesting part about the Kevin Durant injury is he's getting reevaluated in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The NBA playoffs begin in 6. So a lot of people yesterday were saying, he's back in a month, He may not be. He's going to get reevaluated, and truth be told, if they're smart, and Steve Kerr is a very good coach, and they've already got a tremendous team there, if you're smart, you reevaluate them in 4 weeks and say, you know what, take it easy the last 2, get 100% for the playoffs. They're going to get the number 1 seed, unless San Antonio comes out of nowhere.
True.
And really start. I mean, granted,
they're
Kawhi
only
Leonard
4 games
do
back,
that
so that is a possibility.
They are. But then again, you look in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics are only 4 games back, and they just went through a war last night with Cleveland
True.
to be able to get a victory at home. So I think the smart play for Golden State, reevaluate Durant in 4 weeks. They're going to be fine. What's the trade-off? You got Klay Thompson. Oh, as if that. I mean, yes, it's a drop-off, but it's not a sharp drop-off. It's not like you're trading LeBron James for J.R. Smith there. So I think the Warriors are going to be fine. I think you reevaluate him in 4 weeks. Maybe you hold him out. You let him get 1 or 2 regular season games in just so that he's in game rhythm and in game shape, as they like to say, headed into the playoffs. But I don't see any concern for the Warriors. I still see them as the team to beat in the West, like a lot of people do, and it'll be interesting to see. I wonder how they are going to react when they get into the playoffs after blowing that 3-1 lead last year in the finals.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap that up as a whole too. I mean, this team did just fine last year without Kevin Durant. So hypothetically, some would like to think they could still continue to go just as far without Durant as well too, if for some reason he's not able to come back. But all right, Christian, well, we really appreciate your insights, sir. Where can people find you on social media to keep up with all your hot takes about the basketball world, sir?
If you feel like checking in, at Chris Heimall on Twitter, it's the easiest place to find me, and it'll all be starting today. The MAC tournament beginning in Albany, one of those mid-major conferences that doesn't get a lot of love until the championship game on Monday night.
Good stuff, Christian. We appreciate your time, sir. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Guys, take care. Have a good one.
Thank you. Christian Heimall, one of our basketball insiders here on Brew Sports. Some good stuff, some good comments overall. I mean, I honestly didn't have Monmouth on my radar. Now I do, so I will have to know. And I already would figured that Gonzaga wouldn't be a good pick anyway. So, I mean, this basketball season as a whole has already been crazy. I mean, Purdue has been doing really well. I mean, then, of course, there's the Butlers, the Kentuckys. I mean, Kentucky's never a bad pick. UNC, of course, is always a good pick as well, too. So no matter really where you look, you're going to find a clear, some people might say a clear favorite, basically. All right, Jamie, time for your favorite segment of the show, our hashtag Yes Drama. So we've talked about a lot of other fun things throughout the day. People on Facebook have been going crazy saying that we need to race, so at some point we're going to have to either singly race or we're going to have to time each other individually and see. Maybe we'll get it in super slow-mo and just see, a photo finish, something like that. Exactly. We'll spray paint, not spray paint. We'll put cooking oil on ours to make it look like we're really sweating. Like they'll do that for photo shoots and stuff. Be like, look how sweaty they are. It's like it's cooking oil. That's why I didn't mean to blow people's minds.
Why do you know that?
A trainer that I follow on Instagram was getting ready for a photo shoot, and I saw him post a video, and people were spraying him with cooking oil. He's like, it's supposed to make you look sweaty. I'm like, aha, you fraud. No, he works hard. He's got a nice body.
Interesting.
Not that I care.
I always thought, I just assumed it was spray bottles, of water, not of cooking oil.
To make it look shinier there, sometimes you want to do the whole cooking oil sort of thing, like Pam or whatnot. Just be like, psh, basically.
I'm going to do that for my gym selfies from now on.
There you go. Be like, wow, she must really sweat. Your hair just all over the place.
Yeah, I'd have to go to the gym to get those stuff. Well, now I don't, because I can just use cooking oil and...
Exactly. Be like, look, guys, I'm clearly working out.
Right.
But if you try to make it seem like you were doing something and you answer the door something, you've got people come over and be like, oh, I got to look like I was working out, spraying yourself with cooking oil. People are like, were you what? Did something blow up in you?
Ready?
Why are you? You're very hard to hug. You're slippery. What is going on? I don't know. When you make your tacos, we'll try to avoid the cooking oil.
Okay.
Basically. The spray cooking oil. Yeah. Regular cooking oil, rubbing that on. No, that soaks into your skin like a good olive oil. That's how my skin is. So no, it's not. In the summertime, I have very good. Anyway, let's just move on. Do you have any hashtag Yes Dramas for us here, Jamie, to wrap it up? Anything we talked about that you're just like, you know what? Yes, bring the drama, bring the noise, bring the pain.
I think a little, to bring it back to everything going on in the NFL, Tony Romo, what is going to happen? You guys had to talk about it yesterday. I kind of read up a little bit on it today. Is he going to go to Denver? Do they need him in Denver? Is he kind of like a good luck Chuck? Put him in Denver, have him start. He'll get hurt.
He will.
And then, everyone else will prevail. Is that is he that? Is that what we're looking at? I think that's what Tanner thought yesterday when he decided to.
And that's the thing, too, with the whole, when we were doing the whole start, sit, cut thing, and I saw you comment on that as well, too. I'm like, Tony Romo is the most fragile quarterback of the three of Kirk Cousins, Jay Cutler.
Good luck, Chuck.
Yeah, you don't need him. Why? I don't understand the reason of keeping him or even starting him.
So he can get injured.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
You're wasting your time. You're wasting team efforts. You're wasting money to do that. Why? Why would you do that?
I got money to throw, man.
I guess so. But if you're Denver, I would rather try to chance it with Trevor Siemian again than or even Colin Kaepernick. I would take Colin Kaepernick over Tony Romo.
But getting Tony Romo, having him get hurt, gives Trevor the opportunity to be this great. Look at what happened with Dallas this year.
That's true. Yeah, Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
But Dak Prescott's such a flash in a bottle. That doesn't happen.
Maybe it's Tony Romo. He is the good luck Chuck.
Jay Cutler was drafted by the Broncos. He should go back to the Broncos. Make them terrible or great again. I don't know. I mean, imagine what it would do for the division, though, too, if Jay Cutler left and somebody else came in and actually helped the Bears be relevant. You'd actually have a 3 or 4 team race again instead of just the Packers and then the Vikings pretending and the Lions being like, we're good.
And Chicago fans would suck even more.
Exactly. But it's better for sports if all 4 teams are actually competitive.
Right.
People are getting tired of Green Bay always winning. I'm not getting tired of it. But I'm saying some people are like, would somebody else win? Like, that's why when Detroit almost won the division this year, people were like, oh, great.
And then they didn't.
But it's Detroit, though. I would rather the Vikings win the division than the Lions.
Why?
Because the Lions are my least favorite of the 4 teams. Like, you think of the cities. Like, you think of Minneapolis. You're like, I like the cities. That's a cool. You think of Chicago.
Okay.
Oh, the Bean.
You like Detroit.
Great area. You think of Detroit, you're like, bankruptcy.
Yeah. They're evolving. Okay.
Are they?
I don't know.
I don't think they are.
No, they're the next. I don't know.
So I say hashtag yes drama to Jay Cutler going back to the Broncos.
Okay.
That's my hashtag yes drama. And I say hashtag Colin Kaepernick doesn't deserve another job in the NFL.
Look at these strong feelings.
Just saying. I know he's going to get it.
Yeah.
Because that's how the NFL works. The nonprofit NFL. Wow. Just hit my chair and fell for a moment. There we go. It's the problem when you have big feet. It's like, woo. I'm going to finish the show down here, Jamie. Make you feel even more tall. Anyway, so you officially just were saying the fact that just that your drama is
where's everyone going to go?
Where's everybody going to go? Free agency, March 9th. That's when it happens.
Coming up quick.
Come back up here now. All right, Jamie. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always. We talked about a lot of fun things. Thank you to everybody that was just commenting up a storm on Facebook. If you missed the first part of the show, you can find it on our Facebook page, Brew Sports. Jamie and I are going to have to figure out a time to race if we can. I don't know if we're going to, but maybe we will. Some final comments as well, too. Aaron says that fragile or not, I'm rooting for Romo. Hashtag local boy. Corey says Romo was a solid QB. No reason to believe he won't continue. I just don't believe that. I just don't truly believe that some of these people are going to actually. But, I mean, really. Like, I almost want to tell these people, be like, what's your favorite team? Would you want Tony Romo to be your starting quarterback? Nope. No, you wouldn't. If you're a Patriots fan, if you're a Broncos fan, if you're a Packers fan, and all of a sudden you're like, forget the quarterback you have, here's Tony Romo.
Yeah, but I think you could say if anybody, being a Packer fan, like, let's take out
If you polled Packer fans, they would take a season of Brett Hundley over Tony Romo.
They would take Andy Dalton over.
But then they would fail in the playoffs, which, well, wait, the Packers do anyway. Anyway, woo! All right, Jamie, we'll be back here again tomorrow, right, bright and early at 7 a.m. Central Time. We'll have some fun things. We're going to have Simon Mitchell here all the way from England, from Norwich, England, to talk about the English Premier League a little bit. That'll be at 7:36 Central Time, so make sure to tune in for that. She's Jamie Ebers. I'm Baxter Colburn. Thanks so much for joining us on the Morning Brew. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. And make sure to tune in at 9 a.m. Central Time right here live on Brew Sports for Bubbler Banter with Ian DeMars and Josh Scheibe. She's Jamie. I'm Baxter. We'll see you guys again later on. Have a good rest of your day.